From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, November 24th, 2016. Silver is trading at $16.31 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,185 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 0.35 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $750. Antiwar.com reports, adding to the growing list of civilians slain in Saudi airstrikes across Yemen since last year's invasion, 12 more civilians were killed when a Saudi warplane destroyed the truck they were traveling in the northern Hajjah province. The civilians were traveling to a nearby marketplace from a village when they were attacked. There is no hint as to why the vehicle was targeted, and Saudi forces have so far not commented publicly on the latest incident. It's not unusual, however, for vehicles in general in rural Yemen to be targeted, as the fuel shortage caused by the Saudi naval blockade since last year. The assumption seems to be that anyone who still has a functioning vehicle and fuel this far into the war must be up to no good. Hajjah is mostly controlled by the Shiite Houthis, as is most of northern Yemen. These areas have been repeatedly targeted by Saudi airstrikes throughout the war, and throughout the conflict, Saudi forces have been repeatedly faulted for not taking much care in who they are actually killing on the ground. FPP Radio News is brought to you by Bitcoin Not Bombs. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. UPI reports the 24-year-old man at the wheel when a school bus flipped over and hit a tree in Tennessee this week, which killed 5 children, was not under the influence of drugs or alcohol at the time, according to investigators. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation analyzed a sample of Jonthany Walker's blood, which was taken immediately after the crash, and said no traces of intoxicants were found. Walker was driving the bus in Chattanooga on Monday afternoon when the accident occurred. Authorities have since said the bus was going too fast when it hit a mailbox, a utility pole, and then a tree. 5 children were killed in the crash and several others were injured, including some who were hospitalized in intensive care. Walker has been charged with counts of vehicular homicide, reckless endangerment, and reckless driving. Tennessee Governor Bill Haslam, during a visit to Chattanooga on Wednesday, said, "It's time for us to step back, all of us, local school boards, the state, and look at the whole school bus process." The governor said the state will review safety protocols involving school buses to mitigate risk in the future. The NTSB is investigating the crash and said on Wednesday that the road the crash occurred on was not on the school's designated bus route. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports Muslims across the United States feared they were being targeted for surveillance this week when they received automated polling calls asking them to press 1 if they identified as Muslim or 2 if they did not. Many worried President-elect Donald Trump was making good on his campaign promise to register all Muslims in the country, or private citizens were laying their groundwork for a registry. The calls were in fact sent out as part of a survey by Emerge USA, a nonprofit organization seeking to empower Muslim Americans. Sarah Cochran, director of its Virginia chapter, said on Wednesday the group created an algorithm to call Muslims for a poll on their views and experiences after the November 8th election. Cochran said she had to reassure some call recipients that Emerge USA was conducting the poll and an anti-Islam group was not using the organization's name as a disguise. Since Trump's election win, Muslims living in the United States have been on edge. One of his supporters has cited internment camps where Japanese Americans were interned during World War II as precedent for a Muslim registry. On Tuesday, the Council of American Islamic Relations posted on Twitter and Facebook asking about reports American Muslims were receiving robocalls on how they identify. Meanwhile, others posted to their own social media accounts with questions about the calls. One call recipient posted on Facebook, "Not sure if this is a scam or if this is real, but I have surely reported and urge you to report as well if you get the same phone call. Welcome to the new world." This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.